Hi, my name is Diana, the Dummy Cook, and today we're going to do a mashed potato. It's one of my favorite recipes. But before making the mashed potato, we're going to use the blade cover and peeler to peel the potatoes and the cutter to slice them. So how much am I gonna work? Barely anything. Alright, so I chose the mashed potato in my Cook I Do, and I put Cook Today because I did that in my phone. Right now, it's waiting here on my week. Here we are, mashed potatoes. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to scale the recipe. So we're going to come here, and you see where it says serving size 4 portions, that's the default. I'm going to change it to just 2 portions this time. And I will explain why later, okay? So let me put it at 2, apply, and the ingredients have changed. We have gone from 36 ounces of potatoes to 18 only. Alrighty, so now that we have made that change, let's start cooking. And it says, place a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid. Okay, every time that you see this, you're going to be like, you want me to what? To put a bowl where? It's okay, trust the system, okay? So this is the mixing bowl lid, right? This is what it's asking you to do. It wants you to put a bowl on top of the lid. Yes, because it's going to help you weigh in the ingredients that you're going to need. So now let's go next, and it says, weigh into the mixing bowl 18 ounces of floury potatoes. You see how the scale says 0? That's because we went into the scale when we had already put the plate. Look, if I took the plate out, it will be negative. When I put the plate again, it's 0. And if it wasn't, I can just tear it and put it at 0. But the good thing is now we're just going to weigh the potatoes. All right, so we're going to put 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is 20. Since I'm going to peel them and it's only asking me for 18, I'm going to leave it at 20 because when I peel them, it's gonna be a little less. And I love potatoes, so it's gonna be fine. Okay, so these 4 potatoes are all that I'm going to need this time. Let me see what is next. Peel the potatoes and cut them into 1/2-inch slices. All right, so when you see that, you go, hoo-hoo, I have a job for the blade cover and peeler. Ta-da! And then I'll have a job for the cutter. Go ahead, stay there, and let's do this. So we're going to leave the recipe here and we're just gonna go to the homepage, okay? Now, in the homepage, we're going to slide this way and then we're going to go to the peeler. Right here, and it's already ready at 4 minutes and peeler mode. Now this is a mode for the potatoes, so that's all that I need. If I wanted to do something different, I could always look at the instructions. They come by default and you can always mark the box, never show me these instructions again like I did. Here is going to tell you how much water you need to put and how many root vegetables you can put. Because the potatoes need to roll around, I don't want to put too many in order to show you how this works, and then you'll play with it. There is a limit, of course. Sometimes you might need to do 2 batches in order to do a bigger mashed potato, but right now for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to do the small sized recipe with just these 4 potatoes, okay? So I don't need to read all of this because I'm about to show you. Step number 1, we need the bowl and we're going to attach the blade cover. Very logical, right? We're going to cover the blade. So let's go here. There's a point where you can feel that it's locked in, okay? So blade cover is over. So now we're going to put the vegetables and we're going to cover them with water. Alrighty, let's do that. Here we have the potatoes. And here I have the water. So I'm just going to cover them. That's good enough. Close it. And of course we need to close this because I don't want to redecorate my kitchen, right? My ceiling. So here we are. Because it's a mode, you see 4 minutes. The circle is big in case you wanted to change the time, but the default is 4 for potatoes, so you can leave it there. And now I'm going to click here because the big circle is the one that the knob changes, right? So 4 minutes, yes. And now the mode, when you're using a mode, you only turn once. So I go and I turn once and see you in 4 minutes. Thank you, Thermomix, for peeling my potatoes.
A few moments later.
Wow! Okay, all right. I'm excited. Let's see what we see. All right, so now this is going to be a lot of foam. Yes, it is a lot of foam. And I'd rather show you in my real kitchen, so please come with me. Alrighty, so here we are. It's all this foam. All right, so let's see what happens when I get rid of it. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ta-da! All right, so here we have the potatoes. And guess what other extra accessory I'm going to use? Because the one that had the potatoes, I needed to clean it a little, right? It still had a little bit of foam, but I'm in a rush today, so I don't feel like doing that. I just grabbed another one. Ta-da! And I'm going to keep cooking. So now we're going to go to the modes again. This is the home page. Do this. And now I'm going to go to the modes to the slicing because we need to slice these potatoes. And who's going to help us? The cutter right here. Alrighty, so let's do this. Number 1, we need to put the shaft inside the bowl. Shaft's ready. Now we're going to put the cutter ball inside the bowl. There we go. And here we're going to choose the side of the blade that has this little drawing here, these discs over here, kind of like a slice. And that is the part that is going to be looking up here. I'm going to put it, and I'm going to look here, and I'm going to see, yep, I can see the slices. Then I got the right side. Because if I choose the other one, I'm going to get strings. If I choose this one, I'm going to get slices. So now we're going to put the cutter in place, and the potatoes need to be able to fit through this. So I'm just gonna do one cut in the middle, okay? And this is the pusher. So, do we want thin or thick? Well, it said 1/2 inch. I'm going to go for thick. It's fine, because the thin ones are really, really thin. It's paper thin. So I'm going to go for the thick one. And as I choose this, I'm going to put the potatoes through, and I'm going to push them with the pusher, okay? Thick, and let's go for it. And let me get 2 more ready. Ta-da! Like a food processor, right? Let's see the result. It's opening. Okay. Here we have, sliced potatoes. Look at this. Sliced, very, very thin sliced potatoes. Not very, it could have been much, much thinner, okay? So this is the regular size, which is what we needed for our mashed potato. Here we have the whole thing. I can just vamp it here in a plate. Ooh, if I was making the Spanish potato omelette, this will be what I need. And it's crazy how much time I'm saving, right? So really, we just turned our Thermomix into a food processor. Now, never, ever have I ever left the shaft inside the Thermomix. Do not leave this inside. I have heard about people chopping this because they move into the next steps and this ends up chopped. We're gonna put it here and we're done. Thank you so much, Cutter. Thank you so much, Peeler. And now we're going to go back to our recipe. You see this green little thing over here? That is the bookmark. That is your recipe being saved until you're ready to go back. So we're going to click here, and here we are back in our recipe, but I had to barely do anything. Now, if you think this video is long, it's because I'm explaining things to you. Yep. If I had done this really, really fast and not talking to anyone, this would have been nothing. Alrighty, my potatoes are ready, and it says place them inside. Oh, of course, here we go. And right now there's not a scale because we did the scale thing before, right? Alrighty, sliced potatoes in. And now 1/2 TSP of salt. This one is a 1 TSP, so I'm just gonna do half of it. Whee! And 6 ounces of whole milk. This recipe has very few ingredients. We had the potatoes, the salt, the milk. We're going to have later butter, and we're going to have nutmeg. That's it. Alrighty, so 6 ounces. Awesome. And then we're going to insert the measuring cup. We're going to cover it. And it's going to cook for 20 minutes at 195 Fahrenheit. And the speed is going to be 1, which is kind of like a spoon moving the potatoes so it cooks evenly. Alrighty. And that's another 20 minutes that I have for myself. You don't, because I'll be right back.
A few minutes later.
All right. We have cooked the potatoes. Check for doneness, and if potatoes are not soft enough to mash, okay, well, let's see the doneness. And I can see the potatoes here. Yeah, they're perfectly fine. I will show you, but they're all down there. All right, so now we're going to turn them into mash. Mashed potato. So here it's ready for another 5 minutes if you thought that they need more time, okay? And you could always edit the time. I don't want to do that, so now we're going to add 1/2 ounce of unsalted butter cut into pieces. Awesome. Butter, and I'm just going to be adding little pieces. 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. Awesome, perfect. And 1 pinch of ground nutmeg to taste. Okay, a pinch. Don't be shy. My daughter back there says don't be shy. Alrighty, she's helping me today. All right, next, and now we're going to cover it, and we are going to mash them. All right. 5 seconds and speed 7. Alrighty, we're going for it. Mashing. It says that here, mashing. Blast off. All right, so the power of the Thermomix made the best texture. Ever since I started doing mashed potato with the Thermomix, I cannot try any other. The texture that you get here is amazing. Alrighty, so it wants us to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. So some of the potatoes are here on the sides and we want them on the bottom. We're going to cover it again. And now 4 seconds at a speed 7. Final mash. That's it. All Alrighty, serve hot. That was fast, right? Right now it is very, very hot. So here we are, but I'm not going to put the whole thing on the plate because I want you to see just like a side dish, okay? So let me put a little bit here. Look at this beauty.
Yummy.
Whee! And because I didn't keep cooking it, it's a little chunky. That's done on purpose, okay? If you like a very thin texture, then do the other 5 minutes. Let me put this here. I'm going to let it rest for a second so I can try it. Let's go to these little 3 dots and we're going to go to the recipe detail because I want to read these little things with you. Here we have a few tips. The best mashed potatoes are achieved using floury potatoes. For this video, I used golden potatoes, which are not floury. That's why you see a creamy texture. If you use Idaho potatoes, which are floury, you'll get a more fluffy texture, like the one in the recipe picture. Now, if you're going to use Idaho potatoes, cut them in half before using the peeler. That way, they'll be able to roll inside the bowl and peel perfectly. Cooking and mashing time can be adjusted according to variety of potatoes used and desired texture. So that's what we were talking about just now, okay? Check that potatoes are very tender before mashing. If they still seem firm, cook for an additional 5 minutes. And for chunky mashed potatoes, mash only 5 to 8 seconds, but at speed 3, not the 7 that we had, okay? And here we have variations as well. For a more liquid puree, you can add more milk. And for an Italian-style mashed potatoes, prepare the mashed potatoes using only 1/4 TSP of salt and add half an ounce of grated Parmesan cheese when adding butter and nutmeg. I gotta try that one day. And here you have an area for your own notes. If when you do this, you think, oh, next time I really wanna do the 5 minutes, or next time I have to try the Parmesan, you can put your notes here, and that way when you take a look at this, you'll know what your preference is. Let's go back to the recipe. Serve hot, finish, we are done. Okay, let me try this. These are awesome. My daughter in college, she loves the mashed potatoes, but she was always doing the default one, the one that has 4 portions, and she was like, Mom, I'm having mashed potatoes all week. So when they finally came up with the scaling mode, that was awesome because then she could do this just for 2 people. She had enough for today and maybe 1 or 2 sides in a couple of days. Amazing. Diana, don't speak with your mouth full.
My turn.
No.
My turn.
Not move.
So good. All right, she had to try it. Alrighty, so what did we do today? So we did mashed potatoes. We scaled them to 2 portions instead of 4, but we could have done bigger and go for 5. We used the blade cover and peeler to peel the potatoes. We used the cutter to slice the potatoes, and we used the Thermomix to cook them and mash them. Here we are. In the meantime, I could have been doing chicken, barbecue, setting the table, taking a few phone calls, or nothing at all. If you have questions about Thermomix, please email me right here, or click in the description link. I have free shipping links, I have a calendar to schedule time with me, and a lot more information for you. I hope this helped. Thank you so much.